Hi guys, today I'm gonna do a separate video about the map of reality, a strategy that I talked about in one of my TikToks on how you can actually control your thoughts and what you allow within your energy. Someone left a comment on my TikTok and I find that to be absolutely accurate. And this person actually said, oh, this is like a combination of mindfulness and manifestation. And that wasn't something I thought about before, but that is 100% true. Okay, so I don't have a proper board here, so I'm gonna just like write it. I do have a whiteboard, but I'll probably set it up next time. So we are talking about the map of reality. Okay, so this map of reality is a combination of two different maps. One is your physical presence, okay, physical map. It's like a material map, which is your 3D. Okay, so this is a 3D world. And the second map that I want to talk about is the astral or energetic map. Okay, so this is what is within your thoughts. And if you go deeper into understanding like how energies work and frequencies work, you'll start to realize that the astral, the energetic map creates another, it's like a duplication of the physical reality, a 3D world. So the astral realm is also your dream state, okay, your dream realm. It is also your thought realm. Okay, so let's call this the energetic map, okay, just to keep it simple and so everyone understands what we are talking about. So energetic map is clear. It is your energy. It is your dream state, the astral state. So this also represents your thoughts, which are mental. Okay, so this might not immediately be it clear to you that it is a form of energy, but if you go deeper, like I was saying halfway earlier, if you go deeper into understanding how energy is and what creates energy, right? Your thoughts can form energy. If you think about something long enough, it's going to take on its own conscious form that you have no control over, and that is what people are starting to call thought forms, thought form entities. And I believe like in Tibetan Buddhism or something like that, it's also called like tulpas. And it is all the same. Okay, why? Because in witchcraft specifically, you can also create servitors. Servitors are like spirits, are like entities, its own conscious form that you create that can help you fulfill certain tasks. So, and then we also have other terms such as like egregores and stuff like that that are also kind of related to the same concept. But today we are not going to focus on those things because today we are only looking at the map of reality, how we can control what is present for you. Okay, so as we move forward over here, let's look at your physical presence. Okay, so this is the 3D. Let me grab another pen. And this is your 3D map. Let me just make it bigger. Okay, so this is your 3D map, and then we also have the, like we said earlier, energetic map. Okay, so energetic, whatever dimension this is, because I don't want to go into that, and you can find that a lot of people who are not in control of their thoughts. So for example, if you resonate with being someone who has been previously maybe obsessing over certain people, obsessing over certain dreams, obsessing over past events, aside from like the psychological aspect of it, which is you are trying to gain understanding of why things happen that way, firstly. The second thing being you are trying to gain power and claim back your power with a past event. For example, you were bullied when you were a kid, right, in school, and you might find yourself replaying certain events and asking yourself or questioning yourself, why did I not do anything, and what can I do to make myself feel better right now about this past event. Part of this process is to also integrate and understand that's your past experience, and even if you didn't do the right things, it doesn't matter, it's part of you, and you just have to accept it and let it go, right? So we are looking at 3D energetic maps here, and the important thing is that when it comes to the map of reality, I'm talking about two different realities, right? The 3D reality and also the energetic reality. 3D kind of happens later, okay? So it's slower to develop. Energetic is what is created first because it is instant, right? Whatever you think, it appears in your head, right? Or in the clouds. And this is your energetic map. And with the strategy of using the map of reality to bring yourself back to your present time and being mindful and aware of your thoughts and being in control and realizing that you are not your thoughts, you are not your thinking self, is to be in control of the two maps over here. So always bring your attention first back to 3D physical presence and ask yourself, as the moment you catch yourself drifting, what is here within my reality right now? This is your first question. What is here? Who is in front of me? What is around me? Okay? Who and what is here? Ask yourself that first. 3D reality, who and what is here in my 3D presence? For example, I'm at work right now. There's a computer in front of me. There's a desktop in front of me. I have my colleagues in front of me, right? So you kind of have a checklist and ask yourself, like, taking stock of whatever's within sight in your inventory, right? I'm here. My friends are here. My colleagues are here, for example. The second thing you want to ask yourself is then, where is my energetic map? Where am I energetically? Where am I in this map? Energetically. So ask yourself these two questions and always pay attention to things that you realize are not aligned in your 3D and energetic maps. So the goal of this map of reality is always to align both. Okay, so you wanna align both to say my 3D is my energetic. And that is how you gain mind, body, spirit alignment. Because why? People who dream too much, right? Or I'm not talking about like creative flow state of dreaming, of imagination, but I'm talking about energies of like limerence. You're ruminating over certain events, past events that are bringing in negative energy. This is how you keep track of your thoughts. First, who and what is here? Paying attention. I'm home. I have my cards in front of me. I have my mic in front of me. I'm present here. Okay? And energy, where am I energetically? Am I thinking about someone again? Right? Pull yourself back in. So you have like little random things, okay? Random things that you don't want. Okay, this is energy, right? You are physically present in the office, but you find your mind somewhere else, right? So bring your presence back and ask yourself, what am I allowing? Okay, next. 2 questions first. Who and what is here? Second is, where am I energetically? The third step, okay, is again energetic processing, which is, what do I want to allow in my map of reality? When I say map of reality, remember we are always talking about 2 states, and they should always be in alignment, which means that there shouldn't be a 3D version of what you want versus an energetic version of what you want. It should all be the same thing. And that is your desired reality in manifestation teachings. So what do I want to allow in my map of reality? First, for example, to give it a bit more clarity, point 3. This is how I would answer the question. What do I want to allow? What do I want to allow? Sorry for my handwriting. In my map of reality. First, okay, so this is my number 1. What do I want to allow in my map of reality? Again, remember, physical and energetic should be the same thing. I want positive, reciprocal connections. Again, there shouldn't be a different definition for friendships, love, family. It should all be the same thing, because the way you present yourself in one relationship is often how you present yourself in another. This is also how you present yourself in working relationships. Okay, it shouldn't be misaligned in any way, form, shape, whatever. Positive reciprocal connections. This is a personal perspective. Okay? This is my own map of reality that I'm allowing. So with this in mind, I'm doing a very objective check. So what I did in the last few months is, every time I find myself thinking of like a friend, for example, that whose energy doesn't feel reciprocal to me. For example, I could be making invitations, okay, for example, to hang out, and this person bails on me last minute, for example, and is not responsible and does not commit to a simple gathering, for example. I'm taking note. And this is not resentment, okay? It's very different, because pay attention to this. There should not be an emotional charge. I should not feel upset about it. I should just take note. Okay, friend A is not really there, okay? For whatever reason. Everyone has reasons, okay? Valid reasons. But it's still not something I want. So without any justification for someone else, I am making my own decision to say, because this person isn't making positive reciprocal connections with me, I don't feel like my energy is being matched. And thus, what is happening? I'm going back to my map of reality and say, in the 3D form, and say, I'm no longer putting in energy, so that this person is no longer in my 3D reality in time to come. So remember that there are rules to this, right? The first being that 3D always follows later. In anything, in a negative aspect, in positive aspect. For example, if you're wishing for abundance, it will come later, because your energy has to match it first. And because I don't, okay, let me just logicalize this for you. For example, friend A, I'm saying, you know what, this is not really a friend I want to keep, right? Because of this criteria that I have set for myself as I awakened through my process of spiritual and personal growth. I am now investing less. And what you will see, and usually it happens, is that it will not be reciprocated anyways, right? And this person would start to talk to me less, and yada, yada, yada. And what happens? We are no longer friends, right? And then 3D is now in effect. And what do I keep my energy for? Positive reciprocal connections. The second thing that I have for myself, actually I only have like very few criteria, which is like 2 criteria. One is positive reciprocal connections, because I don't like to feel like I'm always bending over backwards for people. That's like bulk of my life already, and I'm done with that, right? So the second thing is having fun. I must enjoy everything that I'm doing. If I'm eating, if I'm doing a reading, if I'm opening up the store, if I'm playing with my cats, I make sure I'm having fun. And how can I have fun? It is not based on the condition of someone else, okay? It's not based on the condition of like, oh, this person has to match my energy in order for me to have fun. No, like, how can I make the whole experience fun for myself? And the first thing is, I need to feel excited about it. Okay, so what do I want to allow in my energy? Map of reality again, here. 2 things, positive reciprocal connections, and the second being, I'm having fun. It is actually a very simple process. So every time I find myself dreading something, right, and I'm like, oh my God, I hate doing this, there are 2 ways about it. The first is you stop doing it entirely, and you're like, you know what, maybe I just really don't like it, and move on from it. If it is a situation where you're like, you don't have control over it, because for example it's work and you're like bound to a contract, the second thing that has to happen is your energy shift in, how can I turn this experience fun for myself? It is still a criteria. Remember that whatever exists in your home, in terms of your map of reality, has to feel fun. Okay, so which means that even if I hate it, I must now learn to have fun. Okay, so this is how I shift my energy in understanding to say, hey, I'm going to enjoy my life to my fullest, and I'm not going to waste my time thinking about this event that has happened in the past. Someone sabotaged my business, or sabotaged my career, or like someone leaving a negative comment on my videos. I'm not going to allow it. Why? They don't fulfill the criteria of both things, right? So how, for example, let's take content creation on TikTok and Instagram, right? It's always free for all to see. Everyone has freedom of speech to a certain degree, and not everyone's going to enjoy your content. So how can I still make this experience fun for myself, even though it could invite negative, quote unquote, negative experiences, is to not be too serious, right? Like, people are free to make their comments, and people are free to express whatever they want, and I'm not allowing it within my energetic map of reality, because that's not my criteria, right? Like, I cannot take a negative experience, or not, okay, let's say like a comment that's not constructive. There's no way for me to make it fun or to learn from this experience. Then what am I going to do? Cast it out of this map. So negative experience that I cannot shift it anyways, no matter how I look at it, cast it out. You need to have energetic boundaries, okay? Cast it out enough times, it will no longer be there. Again, few rules that you have to pay attention to that I didn't cover at the start is, let me use the red marker, okay? Rules of the map of reality is, I should have covered this first, but I'm not very organized as a person, so your map of reality should be aligned energetically and 3D. Okay, that's the first rule. Second rule is that your 3D is always slower. It's gonna take some time. Okay. Third rule, what was it? Oh yeah, I think this kind of explains the third rule already, which is like the 3D will follow suit after, right? So anyway, they should be aligned. It is always slower. So I guess there isn't a third rule over here. Okay, so just remember, simple, keep it simple. 1 or 2 things in your map of reality. Don't make it complicated. Start with your energy. 3D is always slower. So the only way that can actually take action is your energetic map. Check your energetic map all the time. In fact, your energetic map should be, check-in should always happen like almost on a daily basis. The moment you find yourself drifting away and you don't have understanding of what your map looks like right now, you should be doing a check-in, because you should always be aware of what you're curating in your life. If you look around, people who seem to have like chaotic energies or are unhappy with their career, with their family, they do not have a clear idea what their map looks like. Okay, so this is kind of that cliche statement that people used to make, which is if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And it is the same with your map of reality. If you don't understand how it really works in your map of reality and what you really want in your map of reality, how can you curate it? You know, then you are just swayed and directed by people that you meet by chance in life. And I can tell you, with the chaotic 3D energies that are going around, if you're allowing things and leaving it to chance, chances are it's never going to be really positive for you. So you have to be taking control. Again, the rules here, the fourth rule being something that I covered in the TikTok first, which is your map of reality should always be based on your own prioritization of self. Let me write it first. Commitment to self first and foremost. Okay, this is the most important rule of all. Commitment to self. Okay, which means that your map of reality should never be based off like a marriage that you have, a connection that you have. It should always be based off yourself. Okay, what do I really want in life? Hopefully this is a short and clear video and helping you guys understand how to really activate this map of reality. I don't know who's gonna watch this, but this has been super effective for me because I have ADHD. It's so difficult for me to be very grounded and present every moment. So every day is effort, okay? Every day is me working really hard to stay present and making this a habit over time. Besides these rules, things that really help me in understanding is emotions follow motion. I used to be very emotionally driven. Like if I feel like doing something, I do it. If I don't feel like doing something, I don't do it. Over time, I realized it's a ADHD symptom that I have, which is if I don't think this is important, I don't do it. Okay, and if I want to achieve a goal, I tend to overthink it. Right, so those are things that I've had to manage, and map of reality really works for me in managing my anxiety, my ADHD. My anxiety is no longer here. I'll do a separate video in the future for anxiety related situations that has helped me, and I had a lot of things that I had to do to get rid of my anxiety, just FYI. Okay, so let's take it slow. This is map of reality. I hope that you can try to use this and see how this helps you. You can also leave comments or even email me and let me know if this has contributed any way for you significantly. All right, thank you so much guys, and see you guys in the next video.